David, we mentioned Diabate, obviously moving to Utah. There's the connection for week one. Uh, College football fans are focused on Ohio State, Notre Dame, Georgia, Oregon, but I don't know if this is not going to be the best matchup of week one. I am so intrigued to see this game. And you mentioned Florida's inability to stop the run over the last stretch of the season. It was like 5.5 yards per carry. And Utah is going to be physical and they're going to run, and they got a back with over 1,000 yards and Tavion Thomas and 21 touchdowns. Have you given this, you starting to get a feel for this matchup? Because we could see like last second field goal type game here, because that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, Mark, I mean, this is going to be one of those physical matchups Florida has to be ready for. And we've questioned, Florida's depth up front, and they're going to get tested right away. You got the name of Jervon Dexter up there up front for the Gators, but who else do you point to as a proven playmaker up there up front for Florida on the defensive line? And there's not one. And there's not to say there won't be one, but going into the game, Florida's going to have to prove they have another player besides Jervon Dexter up front that can help stop the likes of a Utah and Kentucky those first couple games. But yeah, Mark dialing in right there to Utah. And a lot of people will go back to the Rose Bowl. The last time they saw them given, fighting tooth and nail with Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, and then bringing back, some important pieces. Now they lost Devin Lloyd on the other side of the ball there at linebacker as well. And as we said, brought in Mahmoud Diabate. So they're missing some pieces. They're missing, I believe, their leading tackler, which is Lloyd. He might have been their leading sack guy as well, if I remember going back and looking at that too. So
yeah, sacks, TFLs. Yep.
Yeah. And actually, I think he was the leader in interceptions with 4. I don't think he was the leading sack guy now that I look about it. But yeah, either way, I mean, he's a proven playmaker there on that defensive side of the ball. And Billy Napier, even with Anthony Richardson, he's still going to want to run the ball as well. And I do think it'll be our first unveiling of Billy Napier's offense with Anthony Richardson. I do think he opens it up a bit more than what we saw back in his days at Louisiana, but it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out game on both sides. I think Florida and Billy Napier want to be physical, and we know Utah wants to be a physical brand of football as well that we've seen the last couple of years. So, Mark, yeah, very intriguing matchup. If it makes sense, this could be one of those slobber knocker, high profile, knock you on your butt type of games, but still a lot of points. Just because these teams can be physical and want to run the ball, I still can see both teams getting into the high 20s, 30s. But because of that, and wherever you get to the fourth quarter, who is in the best shape comes out to win this game. And Florida may have an advantage there, of course, that game being in Gainesville and the hot weather. It's just a night game, but it's still going to be a hot, muggy, humid night there in Gainesville. So, Florida's playing, probably going to try and keep the game. Mark, I do think Florida needs to, if they can, jump on it early. You'll have the home crowd. You'll have that weather. If you can jump on Utah, put the pressure on them early on, and Florida, to me, has an advantage a bit. We don't know what this offense will look like. And I know we had a spring game, and I know there's Billy Napier tape all the way from Louisiana, but as I said, I think this offense can open up a bit more with Anthony Richardson's potential as long as he's ready to go and lives up to that potential. I think, Florida comes out throwing the kitchen sink early on at Utah. So if you can get up a couple quick scores early, use that crowd to your advantage, use that weather to your advantage. And if you can get them out of their game plan that they want to do and run the ball and, hit big plays there in the passing game, maybe you can get them out of that by jumping on them early.
You make a good point about the unpredictability of the offense. I was thinking of it from the other standpoint that Billy Napier obviously is the challenge of, we got to play a really good team, and it's our first game, new terminology, new coordinators, new staff for a new set of players. And working that through for the first time with live bullets firing versus Kyle Whittingham, 18 years, everybody knows the deal. Everybody's on the same page. This is our system. This is what we do all the time, and we're ready to roll. I find it intriguing. And then Anthony Richardson, obviously, I could see him balling out, being just a nightmare for Utah's defense, making big plays with his big arm and on the ground. But then I see the Anthony Richardson that, will turn it over a little bit, be a little scatter shot, under 60% completion percentage last year. Which one is he going to be?
Right. I mean, there's a whole lot of questions of what this Florida offense will look like. We can go back and look at the spring game. I think it was pretty vanilla. as far as both sides of the ball go. And I think Florida does have the element of surprise a little bit. If they can hit the ground running in fall camp, get everything gel pretty fast, I think they can catch Utah off guard a little bit with what they plan to throw out there on the offensive side of the ball.
David Waters, Gators Breakdown. Get on over there right here on YouTube or your favorite audio platform. David, we always appreciate you stopping by, man.
Thanks, Mark.